You know what I'm saying? For the most part, like I said, we got this motherfucking energy with the moon going in goddamn Taurus in this goddamn bitch, right? So with the moon going in goddamn Taurus, now we're going to be reminded. Now, here's the thing. I mean, reminded of Taurus being in Uranus, aka what we need to change, because whatever emotional state that we are in, we can't attract that same way no more. We can't manifest that way no more. However, we all been doing it in some way, shape, or form. All of that is changing. All of that is going to a different circumstance and shit like that. And we gotta figure out how to motherfucking change that shit. Well, we ain't got to figure out. We should already knew in this motherfucking shit. But goddamn it, there's whole outdated ways in this motherfucker that's showing us. It's showing us right now that our ways that we've been doing it and shit like that ain't working right now. As far as the religion we was in, or thinking process we was in, or concepts we was in, and shit like that. And the shadow government is experiencing this on a more global scale. But we all are experiencing this on a more spiritual, back against the wall scale. You know what I'm saying? In ways that you may not have been aware of before. Now you get ready to start to be aware of that. Just your way of thinking may be flunked out. Just your way of thinking may be messed up a little bit in some way, shape, or form. And the moon going in Uranus and get ready to trine Pluto is going to structure that whole energy. Because once it trine Pluto, it's going to force us to take power and control over our emotional state, because it's going to give us that gift. But gifts is not always positive. Like I always tell y'all, the alignments, which is a trine, which I call as a gift, look, the alignments is not always what's going to be the main attraction. It's what planets align it. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to let you know if something's going to be a good or a bad gift, good or a bad opportunity, good or a bad obstacle, which would be the opposition, or good or a bad learning process, which would be a square, and so on and so forth. So right now, this may not necessarily be a good square. I mean, a good trine when it comes into the moon and Uranus. But let's just say the moon right now, Trine and Pluto. So we're automatically going to be forced to transform or take more power and control over our emotional state, or the emotional state that we have allowed others to put us in, and try to change that situation. Now we're in that kind of concept through the forms of stability, security, safety, support, and shelter in this motherfucking shit. Somebody said, at Kim up, block, and report them all. Oh, it's another troll in here. Trolls got brain mannerisms in this motherfucker. But yeah, as far as goddamn it, with this trine is gonna give us a gift to like experience minor negative shit if we haven't been taking power and control over our emotional stance on how we gain stability, security, and safety in our lives and shit like that. And our old ways of manifesting and attracting is now outdated in some way, shape, or form, and we have to figure out another way to do it. So even what you've been doing that may have been working may start to dry up a little bit during this particular time. And once the moon reaches full, you may feel this little energy of unfulfilled and feel like you have to do something, and whatever you do is going to put you in a more worse situation. So you got to be careful of that also. But due to the fact that the moon, like I said, it's going to be trine and Pluto, so we're going to be forced to take power and control over our emotional stance on shit and how we feel about things. And a lot of y'all don't have control over y'all feelings. A lot of y'all don't got control on y'all emotional stance on things, and y'all allow y'all feelings and emotions to judge y'all scenarios. And a lot of times that's be y'all problem, because y'all manifest a worse scenario than you necessarily need to. Thank you so much for the donation. Chain Mellow, you say it's important to be as secure in your creative passions, right, as ever, but also don't forget the bills. I just got a new job and I'm feeling extremely secure with my creativity. Yeah, real shit. You can't forget the bills is just something that they have created to make it seem like we sufficient humans or not, and things of that nature. So as long as we're doing something that's catering to our gifts and our passions, that's what the job's supposed to be for. The moment you ain't got nothing going on in your life but that job, that's when that job become your world, and it becomes the most hellistic world you could be in. So it ain't what we do, it's how we do it. And the world is used to be your motherfucking bitch or your stepping stool in this motherfucking shit. So when you stepping into anything with that mind frame, you can only smile. But when you step into things with another mind frame and you lack purpose, you can only frown. So for the most part, it ain't, we all doing the same thing, but it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. And God gonna make sure that it puts you in a better situation anyway if you stay 10 toes down in this motherfucker shit. So that's how shit really rock out though. Let me look at that little cover real quick. But that's how y'all gotta peep game in this motherfucker shit. Because Taurus wants you to be situated. Taurus wants you to be secure. Taurus wants you to be in a situation that you can feel like you got some safety. That you ain't got to get up and go out your way tomorrow, or get up and go out your way the next day and things of that nature. That's how Taurus like you to feel. But a lot of time, when you lack the Taurus energy, or you may be in a situation where, Taurus may not be situated in your life due to the fact how you grew up, your parents may not have had it and things of that nature, right? It make you go extremely into depression mode when you don't see these Taurus energies in your life, because we really are the signs. But when you understand certain alignments that you have more connection with, as far as like your NATO and things of that nature, the things that you lack would be things that you feel like you have to go extremely hard for and shit like that. So a lot of times, if you got like a whole lot of earth in your chart, you may feel like you have to go extremely hard for water, and you may not understand water. You got a lot of fire in your chart. Sometimes you may feel like you have to go extremely hard on air, but you may not know how to sufficiently do it that way. And vice versa, and for all the other signs. But at the same time, when we start to talk about this Taurus energy, Taurus is all about grounding, being practical, what I'm saying, being safe in whatever you're doing. So we are doing the same thing, but it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. And how you do it in the Taurus fashion is making it seem safe. So, like, let's say you might be a long lost hippie or a person that make music or some shit like that. If you're going to do it in the Taurus way, you have to make sure you're creating a situation where you have a foundation or a place that you can go to that you could always feel secure that you could do music there. Other than that, in other alignments or other signs, it might be some corner shit, or it might be some other type circumstances. Like, yeah, I know I'm just throwing up because I make music, so I'm just throwing out allegories out there to help people understand and shit like that. But for the most part, you could just take that idea and filter it through your own mind. But Taurus wants us to feel secure in anything. You know what I'm saying? Whether you a construction worker, whether you a doctor, nurse, or whatever like that. Other signs or other energies may play those out in different filtering systems, but through the Taurus filtering system, it have to be filtered through security. So where the average other person, they might be wanting to be a nurse for the sake of that's just a time that passed right now, or something that they're interested in, or it's something that's helping them learn their life for at the moment. Taurus filter system will be a nurse for the sake of, oh, this could secure me. This could secure my bills. This can make me feel like I don't have to go out and fill out a lot of applications or stuff like that. It's through that filter system. So it's not like that sign and the other sign wasn't doing the same thing, but it ain't what we do, it's how we do it. So right now we're all forced to filter it through the system of Taurus. So a lot of us may lack that energy a little bit due to the fact that if you don't have a lot of Taurus in your chart. So it's hard for you to ground certain things that ain't even something to ground in the first place, as far as your other intuitions, your other chakras and shit like that, right? And that's when being a little dry could come into play, where you could kind of need it to work for your benefit in some way, shape, or form. But if you lack the energy, it might put you in a situation of feeling like you're left behind, feeling like you're not stable, feeling like you don't have something together, feeling like somebody is trying to shit on you, or feeling like someone trying to have one up on you. And these might be all thoughts that you're developing on yourself, just due to the fact of the Taurus energy going on in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So don't allow these energies to put you in no compromising situations, to the point that you might got to deal with some Taurus energy while the moon is full in Gemini, and therefore now you're a moon behind because you was washed up under the current. But right now it's all about self-realization, not what we throw on to others. So self-realization is a big part of right now knowing what we can emotionally change and gain stability on in some way, shape, or form before we try to change someone else or change their emotional stability. What can we change in some way, based upon knowing that ways that we was kind of stuck in and thinking as a practical form may have manifested a bunch of negative results. And right now we need to know those starting points to those correspondences so we can get out of that circumstance and shit like that. So we don't keep producing those same motherfucking results. And that's what Taurus like. Taurus like to make sense. Taurus like to be practical. Taurus don't like to keep doing the same thing over and over again. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense kind of energy. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, yeah. Also, like I said, it's getting ready to goddamn sextile Jupiter in this motherfucker shit. So we all gonna have opportunities to take our emotions and expand on those things, ground on those things. You know what I'm saying? Make imaginations on those things, have faith in those things, and see a potential in those things to a certain degree. Now, make sure you're not seeing too much potential in La La Land and imaginations and esoteric drawing boards, because that can happen also. You could be in a situation where, like, goddamn it, you putting too much faith in something that's in the esoteric drawing board, la la land, something you done picked up from your childhood at 9 years old, and you just brought it to you now, and just thought it was gonna work now in the year 2022, getting into 2023. No. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this is kind of energies that we could kind of get in due to the fact that the moon get ready to sextile Jupiter and Neptune. See, anytime the moon sextile Jupiter and Neptune, it fucks with those energies. But sometimes it could play out negatively on us because we could believe a lie. We could believe getting taken advantage of and claiming that we're not getting taken advantage of. It could be people around us telling us what we're going wrong, what we're doing. If somebody fucking us over or something like that, and we choose to act like we don't see it that way and even make that person that's telling us this shit an enemy in some way, shape, or form. So we got to be careful with all these energies right now when it comes into the moon getting ready to go into Taurus and it's sextiling goddamn Jupiter and Neptune too. You know what I'm saying? It could cast delusions over our emotional stance about our experiences. Your goddamn auntie could be robbing you motherfucking blind in front of you. And then your goddamn uncle could be telling you, and you get ready to cuss your uncle out. Like your uncle was hiding something and some shit. So yeah, you gotta be motherfucking careful during this particular time also with this energy. And due to the